Everything is wonderful. We got some news to bring up for you. We got a lot of things that we have to discuss. Let me turn this down real quick. Let me turn this jiu-jitsu up and listen to my little Japanese jiu-jitsu um, music mix. You know, I go all around the world. I don't just stay, on one level. I go all around the world. You did. You did. Now, hold on. Can we start the show properly? Because I did have a J from, Big Mondo Burger, right? Southside Big Mondo Burger, right? Okay, so that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to a quick commercial real quick. Let me let you know what I've been dealing with here. Got a couple of softwares and stuff that I'm working with. And today I'm coming in with my homeboy. Oh, so real, baby. Look at him. The gig is back. The gig is back.
What's good? What's good? Y'all know the platform. How y'all feeling? Moving that Mondo. You got that Mondo?
Oh, Mondo Burger.
I can dig it.
Okay, so look, we're going to start off with the breaking news first. All right, breaking news, guys. Let me tell you what's happening. So, what made headlines today was a young man named Brandon Bernard. Yes, he just got executed yesterday. Lethal injection execution. And I can explain to you what he's done, but I can show you even better. And I want to know people's honest opinion because this man had died due to something that he did over a decade ago. So let's check the story out. Check the story out. South, what'd you see? You see it?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. I see it right here. So let me just boom. There we go. All right. See it, South?
Yeah, we in.
Okay. Why was Brendan Bernard executed? Okay, so you see that he right here, Bernard was convicted for a role in the 1999 killings of a religious couple in Iowa. Boom. Okay, so the bodies were found in the back of the truck. So as you see this video is playing.
In his truck?
No, in the back of some truck. Okay. I guess their truck.
Okay.
So I don't know how he got in there or what happened, but they said they was robbing them, and so they wind up killing them and burning their bodies. There's some more information. They said that the lady might not have died from the gunshot wound, but she probably died from smoke inhalation. So she was still alive when the bodies were burned. Okay, so then I just want to get people's perspective on, especially the audience. Y'all go view this again. I want to know, was this right or not? My opinion is that if someone did something, let's say to your daughter or one of your loved ones, would you want death for that person? Okay, let's get a little deep because I know how some people like to play. So let's get a little deep.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you ask me, it is crazy because you can't be. Who are you to deem death on somebody? You know what I'm saying? Even I don't know. It could be the craziest thing because, like you said, you gotta look at it from your point of view. If it happened to my daughter or my son, I'd be like, look, I want you dead. You know what I'm saying? But you said accused. What evidence do they have? Do they have any type of evidence leading up to him doing this? That's when the factors come in.
Good question. Good question. Let me play this video real quick so I can let them see how severe it is when you can say, okay, I oppose the death, but then I don't oppose the death. Now let's see if this happened, will we be opposed of it?
9 dead. This shocking video shows one victim being shot from a car as he walks hand in hand with his 6-year-old daughter. At least 6 of the innocent people caught in the crossfire over the holiday were children, ranging in age from 6 to 14.
You shot and killed a baby.
Okay. So, who just hit me off? He's coming in now. I had to reiterate this stuff. So, when it's to that extent, right? When it's to that extent, would we want to wish death on that person? You know what I'm saying? They just got rid of a child. You know what I'm saying? So when I see those people like, oh, stop killing, but when it happens to a loved one or something of yours, we'll try to switch it around, knowing that man probably had rehabilitated himself. You know what I'm saying? But should we get rid of executions or not? I got some more people coming.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't get it. I still don't think that no one should be in power. You know, over a system, should I say, should be in power over. You know what I'm saying? Who lives or die. You know, because we got a lot of people that's in jail, like any race. You know, falsely accused. Mostly, you know, a lot of us. You know, as the black race, but all races. You know, I know a lot of people locked up for being falsely accused.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a lot of people, and we got some more people coming in. Hopefully, they don't take it long. But I was thinking that since they highlighted a religious couple, maybe that pushed the forum even more on him because they highlighted that religious couple. You know, he killed a religious couple. So probably in that, was it Utah? That's probably one of the Mormonist state over there. That's where the Mormons be at. Yeah, Mormons.
That's real.
That's when the Mormons be at. So they probably didn't take that lightly. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, did you bring it on yourself though? I mean, you know, in that state, they probably have the death penalty. If they had death penalty in DC, shit, niggas won't be doing shit.
Exactly. Totally agree.
Motherfuckers be flying straight.
I agree.
Y'all be flying straight if it was death penalty for everything. Run a red light, death. Jaywalk, death.
Yeah, and that's how it is there. Yep. America, like that's why a lot of people want to come to America because they will be considered quote unquote free, you know.
Right.
You don't have any limitations, so yeah.
Now, how you get the screenshot out of the way?
A screenshot?
Yeah, I ain't get this out of the way. I mean, not a screenshot of the video.
We got to go through the whole video for it to go if you pulled it up from.
Oh, okay. All right. So next topic. Let's go ahead and visit the man upstairs. And I'm back. Okay, so you have met the man upstairs. Now I have a Bible question, and I want some of the my people to come in here because one of them is a Christian, and I have another Christian too. And Sal, remember that that hot story thing, man, I got a hell of a story. When I was just coming home, one of my homeboys and stuff fighting with his his lady. But anyway, my question for the people is, if you're a Christian, do you still sin? Okay, so I want the people to answer that. Maybe write in the comments. But I want my man to come in here very quickly because you know, he needs to get this work. He's a Christian, and you know, I just want to challenge him and to see if he's a Christian, if he still sins. Because if you do, we know that Satan is in charge of the sins, you know, because he's quote unquote evil.
Right. So, leave it to them. Yeah, you're right.
So if a Christian says, yes, I still sin. Hold on, he said I did. I don't see it. But it must take a while for them to come in.
Probably depends on their connection. But it definitely should like jump them in instantly after they type their name in and whatnot after that.
So he's gonna come in, ladies and gentlemen. And so right now we're gonna go see my fat man.
My name is Big Jeff, and I'm ready to see where's the hot dog.
My man Jeff is always hungry. He always talking about he ready to eat some shit. So God damn it, Jeff, I got you, okay? I got you. I'm gonna be there, okay? Just don't go nowhere. I'm gonna be there, man. I'm gonna be there, Jeff. My man Jeff. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
How are you, buddy? My New York buddy. My New York. Hey, Jay, guess who just emailed me?
A what?
Guess who just emailed me?
Who?
You see that?
Barely. Total life changes. Oh.
Right. That motherfucker just okay. We're gonna have Kufu coming in too. He about to come in. So we were just going over some things, Jay, and maybe you can give your little 2 cents. And earlier, yesterday, a gentleman, he black, a gentleman named Brandon Bernard, right?
Mm-hmm.
You heard of him? He's making headlines everywhere right now. He just got executed in Iowa because he killed a religious couple in 1999. He killed a couple in 1999. He shot them,
Mm-hmm.
and then he burnt their car with the body still inside of it. And they just executed him yesterday. So my thing is, you know, and I've seen a lot of people with signs saying, "Oh, execution need to stop. Execution need to stop." Right? It, you know, it's they're trying to ban it in certain, you know, they're trying to ban it. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So, my question is, do you think we should oppose execution?
We should.
Are you pro?
No, I'm not pro it. No man has the right to take another man's life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if another man took another, it's like doing the same thing. Even if you're saying it's in the name of justice, even if you're saying if it's in the name of justice, you're doing the same thing he did.
Yeah, you're right. You gotta look at it from all those aspects.
You're just justifying it because you're like, oh well, so it's like a chain reaction, you know. But you feel because you're the justice, you're doing it in the name of justice. You have the right to do the same thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's no different. It's no different.
So, I was sharing another story. This right here. Let me see if I can go back into it. I was sharing this story. Can you see my screen? I'm sharing this story. And Jay, how you feel about this?
With his 6-year-old daughter. At least 6 innocent people caught in the crossfire over the holiday were children, ranging in age from 6 to 14.
Okay, so you know the point. So would you still, before, if it happened to you and your daughter, like would you want to wish death on this person in the court?
So what happened here?
Like would you? Yeah. So would you want? What would you want to happen to an individual that killed a kid, a child?
I still wouldn't say put to death because that's something you gotta endure. I would want them to endure that fucking pain some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that because I don't know what anime I watched. There's somebody who, like they killed somebody, and I think someone wanted to get revenge on them, and they had the opportunity to kill them, and they're like, you know what? If I kill you, I'm giving you an out.
Right, you are.
Stay here. I need you to stay here and suffer.
Right, you right. Now you gonna watch every corner I've been. You're right.
All right. Okay. So, get freaky with this thing. Okay, cool. So, Jay, we're gonna go visit the man upstairs real quick. Okay, we're gonna take a short break.
Man upstairs.
Boom, it's me. Hey, you see me. Okay, so my question, I have a Bible question today. And the question is, let's say Southside got to teach me how to put the words and the stuff, you know what I'm saying? He got to teach me how to put the words in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we doing it.
Okay. I don't know if it went in there, but can you see it south? Did it go across the board? I don't know. Anyway, Khufu is on his way in here. We got the man Khufu. Khufu the Great. Man, Khufu is the man. Khufu have everybody doing this. That's right. Khufu said, come on, go that way, man. You want to go that way? You want to come with me or you want to go with them? So he said he in here. So I mean, I don't see him yet. He said I am. So the question is,
tell him he would have to, like, if he doesn't see himself in here, he has to click the join button at the top over again. That's what happens to me.
Tell me.
Like, tell him to read. Yeah.
Tell me to resend. And I think everybody for tuning in with me. Select the like button, you guys. Everybody's gonna check this out live later. Yep, if you're checking it out live, checking it out later, hit that like button for me, please. Thank you. So I just resent him the link. I do want to ask the Bible question in here because, like I told you, Khufu is now a Jesus believer. His wife has captured him. And speaking of wives, right? So let me just tell you, I had a homeboy, which is a Christian. He thinks that God is going to provide everything, and he just don't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? He just think God's just going to give him all. You know what I'm saying? He don't have to do nothing. He don't have to work and everything. So it's causing tension in his household because she's looking at him like, I'm doing all the work and you're not providing, right? That's what she said. She said, you're not providing. And he said, well, huh?
What are you talking about? You lost me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So my hold up. My homeboy was arguing with his wife and he was like, you acting like a man. And she was like, well, you're not providing. You're not providing. You don't do anything. So he said, well, he said, Jay, I went to the food stamp building today and I got this filled out. I put the work in, the paperwork, you know what I'm saying? I did it. So he thinks that he's trying to tell her that he did some work today. He said, yeah, I do work. I did work today. I went to the food stamp building. I had to walk there. I had to stay in line and I had to fill all this out. So he's thinking that that's some type of work. And he asked me, is that work? I was like, I'm with her. I'm like, nah, because you gotta go to work the next day. You're not doing that shit the next day. You know what I'm saying? So she's looking at him like you're not producing enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as much as I am for the man, I was like, you know what? She's right. I was like, yeah.
You know, something interesting you said, and I now got to take a note on that. When they say someone's not providing, even if someone's really trying hard, they're really just saying they don't feel like what is being produced is enough to keep them happy.
Say that again, Jay. I don't think they heard you.
So a lot of times when you hear, oh, you're not providing or whatever, they're just indirectly saying not enough is being produced to make them feel like something is being done. Because there's a lot of people who they do go out and work every day, and you know what I'm saying, it might be fast, but they feel like if it's not producing to what they feel is a lot, then what you're doing is nothing. Even if what you're doing is the foundation to get to where you have to go.
Okay, well, that's cool. But guess who the hell popped up? Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this guy right here, man, I'm trying to tell you. Cool fool.
What's up, Cool?
Great.
What's up, Cool fool?
Hey, man, how you been, man?
Coolin', man. Working and winning, you know. How you feeling?
Man, kids.
Oh, man, like
Kids, man.
So, man, welcome, man. Welcome to the JPTV show. Believe it or don't.
Believe it or don't.
I'm like so bad. It's not believe it or not, but believe it or don't.
Believe it or don't. Yeah. How do you do? You don't. Believe it or don't. So, I'm glad you're in right now, and the show is going great so far. Cool fool, I wanted you to check out some functions. We about to start our Bible question of the day. I told Jay that you believe in Jesus now, and everything is working great out for you. Paul.
Oh yeah.
Boom. So my Bible question today for the Bible thumpers out here, we got two of them in the house.
Who's two of them?
Kufu, I told you, Kufu is a full renowned believer in Jesus now. So he's going to explain to you.
No, hold on, wait a minute. That's a joke, right?
Yeah.
Listen out. My question for today is, can you still sin as a Christian?
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
You might want to rephrase that question.
No. Can you still sin as a Christian?
All right, Kufu, I told JP about phrasing his questions properly, because the other day he's like, other day the question was what is a man? And I'm like, I think you mean what does it mean to be a man?
No. What is a man?
A human male. And I told him that, and he's just like, anyways, yes, you can.
Okay, so yes, you can, right? So if what's the point of going and going to Jesus? Like, what's the point?
You asking me?
Somebody.
What's the point?
Jay.
No, wait, hold on. Before we go, No, like, who's the two people here? Me and who?
Fufu.
Are you serious?
Fufu.
Are you
Nah,
serious?
nah,
Man up.
Huh?
Answer the question.
nah. That's not gonna happen.
Answer the question.
See,
So
he's
you say that.
wait, hold on, wait. He's JP, you joking, right? Or Kufu, is he serious or is he joking?
He's joking, man.
Oh, okay. All right, I just gotta get a clarification, you know.
Nah, man. You can't blink. You
Right?
can't have your eyes open and start to go back to sleep again. Like,
Woo! Throwing shots. Woo! Throwing
no, I
shots.
ain't throwing shots, but I mean, it's like if you whatever truth that you come in contact with, if you think that's the truth, then it's like why would you go back to something else that you think that's not true?
So is being a Christian a son of God?
Yeah.
Is
Well,
okay. So
that's funny.
how can you be a son of God if you still sin as a Christian?
Because the flesh is weak.
Okay, so that means that is it Satan's nature sinful?
No.
You said Satan's nature is not evil, right?
Not sinful.
I mean his nature, yeah, not sinful, right?
No.
What's Satan's nature?
His nature?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been changed. It's changed now. It's really was supposed to be holy and good, but he changed it to being sinful. But the type of being that Satan is, he makes conscious decisions. Like he chooses to actually do wrong. You know what I'm saying? For humans, we have
That's subjective. That's subjective. You can't really say he chose to do wrong. I mean,
Here we go.
I gotta get my shoes.
Okay.
Here we go. Get him to tell him get the shoes on, goddamn.
So for instance, right? Okay, so if you're a father and you have a kid, right? You want to protect your kid. You don't want to keep things from your kid, right? So for instance, if you know, like, if you go down the street and you go to that street corner, there's bad people in that street corner, and if you don't tell your kid don't go to that street corner, he's going to go down there and get caught up with the wrong people, right? So imagine God or the devil, whoever your father is, telling you that I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you something, but I'm not going to tell you everything. Like, there's just some things I'm just not going to tell you. I'd rather you be in ignorance than you to have certain knowledge. Versus someone else is telling you, I want you to know everything, because everything is not what it seems. You know what I mean? I want you to prosper in whatever you're doing, but you have to have the knowledge in order to do that. So it's, to me, I don't know. To me, it seems that, I don't know, whoever Lucifer was in the first part of Genesis was actually looking out, versus God was kind of basically trying to keep you in ignorance.
So let me ask you a question. How old are your children?
9 and 10.
Have you introduced them to sex and pornography yet?
No, I have not.
Why not?
They're not ready for it yet.
So if I came and introduced them to them, am I looking out for them? Since I'm telling them something you won't?
Well, yeah, you are actually, because eventually they're going to have to know it regardless.
But the statement you said was they're not ready.
I'm not ready to tell them. Doesn't mean that they're not old enough to hear it.
But here's the catch now. You said you didn't tell them because they're not. JP's crazy. Because they're not ready. So, you know, a lot of people who are low-key.
I think they're not ready.
Why do you think? Why do you think that?
Because of the way I was raised. Now they may be old enough and be able to be.
But even let's say if they were 5. Let's say if they were 5, would you have told them?
No.
Okay, then. So in terms of the parent-child relationship, there's a concept where okay, we are looking out for the gradual process of our offspring, and we're making sure that we give them things in quantities that they can comprehend, so that we don't give them information overload and possibly traumatize them.
Okay.
Right? So it's a safe thing. There's certain things, going back to Eden and stuff, we ain't need to know all that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was information that would give, and which caused us to be in this situation, information overload, to the point now we're in this state of, tainted world and stuff like that. Had Adam and Eve just kept to the basic stuff, plant your, do your farming, cater to the animals, take care of your offspring, we'd be living in a nice little domestic, farm life or whatever like that. However, because they became more aware of other things, this gave room to now do things that kind of messes up everything.
Yeah, but then you have to understand that as children get older, they're going to get exposed. Like you were saying, the age part with where they're 5 years old versus, some kids at 5 years old are exposed to that type of lifestyle, right?
And not all of them come out sane.
Oh, I'm not saying about the psyche, but the exposure is there.
That's what I'm saying. And now that we factor in the psyche, it was probably not good that the person who so-and-so had their best interest told them, because that messed them up. And most of the times, a person who does introduce certain information to a child, they know if what they're doing is like correct or not. You know what I'm saying? And they intentionally want to do that because they want to inflict some sort of mental and emotional damage on the child, because they get pleasure from that. So it's the same thing with Satan. He knew when he gave Adam and Eve that information, it was going to inflict some damage, put in the world in this place. So he wasn't looking out for them. He wanted,
How would you know that? What you sound like you're making an assumption versus an actual fact.
Remember what he told them? Hold on. Let me Oh, he told them, you're being lied to.
Right.
Hold on. You're being lied to, which they were not being lied to. The lie was that it's like the lie is like it's a lie that's really it's a lie that's a lie about a lie.
I mean, it seemed like it was an omission of truth. He didn't lie, but he didn't tell you everything.
Hell, the same thing God did, huh?
So that's what I'm talking about. God didn't lie, but he didn't tell you everything.
Exactly the same thing you do with your kids. You don't tell them everything. You're like, oh, daddy, how babies come? You tell them some shit like, oh, they come from the sky.
Right.
How can you get
mad?
That's a parent's nature to do that to their child because they're looking out for their child. While somebody else who doesn't give a shit will just say, I'll tell you exactly. I'll show you all the information. And the child might be like, oh shit, like, well, that's crazy.
That's subjective. That's what you think that person might have callous in his heart because he's telling your kid what you don't want to tell him. That's opinionated. Like he may he may actually have the best child's interest in heart and want to tell him the truth, or so he doesn't get blindsided. So it's subjective. So you can't really say, oh, because he's the devil, or he told him that X, Y, and Z, that he had maleficent intentions with him. I mean, it's not really true. He probably generally came down there to tell him, hey, this guy's lying. He's not telling you everything. Here's what you need to know. So, I mean, Adam and Eve were adults. They did have children, so they were old enough to comprehend. So you can't really, I don't know. To me, it just seems like that could be, that story can be swung either way, however you want to look at it, in my opinion.
No, I really know it can't. No, it can't, because you have children. There's a lot of stuff you have not told your children. Right. So, and you're saying if somebody comes and tell your children all that information ahead of you, the person who has the authority and who's in charge of their development, you won't feel that they stepped over a certain boundary.
So let me say this. They did step over a certain boundary. But what I'm saying to you is, okay, because I don't think they're old enough, doesn't mean someone else may think the same way I do. So I may see what they're doing is wrong, but the other person may see it as what they're doing is right. Like, I don't want you to get caught up by not knowing X, Y, and Z. And your parents are like, well, if you know X, Y, and Z, you're not ready for that right now. That's just it's subjective. It's all up to whoever the individual parents are or the people are. So For me, I'm reading it on the other side versus you reading it on the other side.
So you wouldn't get mad if
Okay.
somebody told your kid certain information that you think they weren't ready for.
No, you're missing the point. It's not the point of me getting mad. I told you they crossed the line. They crossed that line already. But it's not the point of them crossing the line. It's the point where do I think the information I would give to my kids, are they ready for it? Versus someone else thinks that the information they're giving my kid, are they ready for it? Now they may give the information.
Wow. I love this shit. Okay, great. That was great, everyone. That was excellent. Okay, I don't want to get too carried away with that. Now the question was, could you be a son of God, right? Could you be a son of God and still commit sin? See, Christians don't read their book. They claim they do. They say, oh, yeah, we did it. We did it. So let me go to a verse. And you know, they play tricky. They play tricky with the verse. They say, oh, that's that half of the book. So I ain't got to believe that one. 1 John 3:6. Whoever abides in him does not sin. Whoever sins has neither seen him or know him. Verse 8. He who sins is from the devil.
Mm-hmm.
The devil.
Yeah.
So that means that if a Christian says that they sin, that they are still a part of the devil. No matter how many verses you read, no matter how many hallelujahs y'all do, no matter how many hooper and hollering y'all do, they say if you said,
JP.
Yeah.
But you know, different than the Christians just taking one verse and saying that's the end all be all.
So what type of sin do you commit as a Christian?
So first of all, we have the first 10 commandments, and those 10 commandments tell us what to avoid, right?
Okay. Teach.
So for example, thou shalt not kill, right? Any really actual, truly born again Christian will stick to that one, unless they're put into situations like maybe, you know, soldier in war or something. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. If you're not
But
supposed
the
to
Bible does not say? Does the Bible does not also say it's time to kill?
That's a
Does the
contradiction.
Bible say is it time to kill? Question.
Understand is the context of the variable of life, right? It's in every best Christian's interest to avoid having to even like do anything that could possibly lead them to killing, right? However, you never know if there's ever going to be a situation where that literally becomes your only option. God forbid anybody gets in a situation like that, you know what I'm saying? But there are times where, like, for example, David and Goliath, right? When he has to stand up for his nation, a path, you know, like a I don't want to say what do you call, what's the word I'm looking for?
Destined.
To me, that was just so complicated because I don't see the book to explain that to me.
It's basically like this: don't kill unless God gives you the authority to do so.
He didn't give you the authority to kill.
That was real.
The authority to do so is very contextual because, for example, if it comes to now protecting, right? So it's not. It's like karate. You remember? I don't know if you ever took karate back in the day, right? The rules of karate was this is only for self-defense. You don't go out and just say I'm going to beat up somebody to beat up somebody. But if somebody comes at you, right, and you give them warnings like, look, back off. They're not backing off. Please back off. They're not backing off. I'm saying please back off. They're not backing off when they come, and you bust their ass, then it's justified because it's out of self-defense.
Well, then
so
you have a problem with that. Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish, but you contradicting yourself with that Bible, what you're saying.
It's not contradicted because here's the thing: in this world, there are others who are not standing by the same principles of thou shalt not kill, right? So if somebody who doesn't give a fuck about the rule, thou shalt not kill, comes to me and is trying to kill me, right? now I'm in a situation where, okay, this is out of self-defense. I got to protect myself. If I'm just going like, oh, I'm going to go kill somebody, then I can't say I'm a Christian because I'm intentionally going to do the act. Versus I'm chilling, living my everyday life, and somebody who doesn't abide by that principle is coming to inflict that damage on me. So anytime something...
I ask you a question. Are you married?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Do you still have sexual intercourse?
Don't, you're wrong person to ask those questions, man.
I'm just asking because I mean, in the Bible they say that's a sin as well. So I'm just asking, like, are you sexually active?
No.
So you're not sexually active at all? Okay.
Okay, so
you're talking about fornication. Fornication.
I'm talking about sexually active. Period. Whatever. Any form. Any form.
Any form. That includes beating off
any
too.
form.
Right, Kuvu?
I don't know. I guess so.
Is beating off a sin?
That's a sin
Actually,
as well.
It is, yeah.
What?
Can't beat off neighbor. Damn.
So let me ask you this.
I'm just telling you, when do you pick and choose like what's a sin, what's not, when to follow the sin, when to not follow that?
You know, some people say that all sin is a sin, as in like all sin is equal. I personally I don't believe that. I think all sin is a sin, but different sins are contextual based on the infliction of the harm that is done. For example,
who's the one who says that?
I'm going based off like the science, right? So for example, as you were talking about
There's
sexually
no science
active,
or religion.
when I used to, and no, hold on, this is why I like where people like, I feel like people don't add context to stuff. When I used to beat my meat, right? My justification was, at least I'm not fornicating. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I didn't commit the sin of fornication, but now I'm coming to the sin of I don't remember the verse in the Bible, but I didn't know there was a verse that talked about it. But it literally said that when that happened, you're unclean for like a whole 24 hours, right?
I want to know, where's the sin in that? Like, please just tell me.
So my justification back then was, at least I'm not fornicating, right? And my justification was, at least I'm only sinning against myself, not with another individual. But in order to do masturbation, I'd actually be committing I believe, is it adultery? Adultery. No, it's like, you know, the verse that says if you look at a woman and you like, you know, you lust on her, you're committing another type of sin. If you lust in your heart, yeah. So that's when I realized, okay, that's the sin I'm committing, where I may not be participating with somebody else, but the intention of my mind pertaining to that certain female, that sin is being committed. So in my younger years, basically, I weighed both. I had a scale. I said, okay, which one is worse? Me looking at a woman and whacking off, or me actually dipping myself in between another person's legs? And I'm like, you know what? The latter, or I mean, the one where, you know, where I'm just looking at a woman, that ain't harming nobody else. So I weighed that as a...
I can understand that, but according to the Bible, it's like you either straight or lukewarm. So you ain't supposed to do it at all. So by you doing doing that, saying you still like do certain sins now. So because in the Bible say if you're a sinner, you're going to hell. Like you don't follow him, you don't accept. So if you commit little sins like that, are you deemed just to go to hell? I'm going to hell. I beat my dick.
And that's why I said, and that's what I said. If we actually understand that sins are contextual, people don't like when I use these words, the lesser sins, right? That they're just like a form of human nature that you subconsciously get back into sometimes out of just your fleshly habits. Yes, the goal is to be able to overcome them and get deliverance and stuff like that. But those ones is like, all right, you get a pass. You know what I'm saying? When I say a pass, not a pass to keep doing it, but a pass where, okay, it's not inflicting damage as if somebody went out and killed somebody, and now, you know, that affected a lot more people.
With the law, right?
The law.
when you steal something, you're going to go to jail, right? That's the law, right? Pretty much that's kind of the law across the board, all around the world. If you steal something, you get caught, you're going to jail. That's the law, right? So it's kind of contradictory when you tell somebody, all right, thou shalt not kill. That's the law. I don't care what position you're in. I don't care what you have to go through. I don't care if somebody got a gun in your head. You're not supposed to kill. That is it. You kill, you're going to hell. You sin, right? And the Bible says I was raised Roman Catholic, right? So I know a sin is a sin. There's no greater or lesser sin. If you sin, you sin. That's just the end of it. Like you can't go to somebody and say, okay, I didn't sin that bad, so just let me slide. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not fair. It's like, what's the point of having a religion if you can do that? You know what I mean? If you can, it's kind of like you're being phony in a way. If you sin, you sin.
Because we do the same thing in society.
Okay, a crime
is a crime, and not all crimes are judged the same way based on the context of the crime.
But
that's what I said. That's what I said. The Bible may not,
right?
But that's what I said. The Bible may not say it. Common sense. Not all sins hold the same weight, but people don't like to have that conversation. Yes, a sin is a sin. It's a sin, but it doesn't mean it holds the same. Certain sins hold the same weight as others.
Now hold on. I have to put you in the VIP room, Jay. Hold on now, Kufu. You got to straighten this up, man.
Well, I just did, but he's trying to play semantics with words, though. But like I said, if you break the law, you're going to jail. I don't care how long, for 2 years, a year, 10 years, you broke the law, you're going to jail. You're going to get punished. You kill somebody, you're going to get punished. You steal from a store, or you slap somebody when you're not supposed to. I don't care what kind of sin you did, you're going to get punished. That's just the end of it. Like you can't say this is a lesser or greater sin. You're going to get punished for a greater or lesser sin. However you want to look at it. So that's not a place semantics. I mean, it sounds like it's more being opinionated than actually follow the actual scripture of the book. Like they gave you penalties for whatever sin you commit. So you really can't.
So, like I was saying, Jay, hold on, Jay, stop. Hold on, Jay. We can't hear you. Stop talking. We can't hear you, Jay. Okay, so look, everyone, look. Jay just talking to he's talking right now. Jay, we can't hear you. Hold on, Jay. When you in the back, when you in the VIP room, no one can hear you. I can see you, but we can't. I can see you, but we can't hear you. Okay, so that was straightforward. You know what I'm saying? That question has been answered. If you are a Christian, and these for the Christians out there, if you are a Christian, let me get close to make sure y'all hear me. You know, I just got the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Christians, your own Bible says that if you commit sin, they didn't specify it, so you can't say, "Oh, they was talking about this one." No, they say sin.
Yeah, one word, not multiple words, meaning you know.
Yeah, that means that's the whole category, sin. Okay, so the Bible teaches us, well, the Bible teaches you all that the Christians that still and would admit that they have sinned, they have not seen or know the Lord. So we got to check the book again, because we are all not, well, the ones that are reading it, you guys not reading it. And that's what you have. This is where the confusion begins, because then you start to think about what you think that it should mean. No, it says your own Bible. Now, I know y'all want to say, no, that was the first half. We don't believe in that no more. Then the other set of Christians say, oh, no, the second half, we don't deal with that. We just deal with the first. I don't know which way to go. But inside the book itself, and I talked to a couple of Mormons to this too. They said the same thing. Yeah, we do, because we're human. I said, huh? Because you're human. I said, okay, is human, what is human? God nature or Satan's nature? Because if you're a Christian, you cannot sin. you have to walk on eggshells. You can't even look at a female and say, damn, she's fat. See, this is what the Bible gets y'all to do.
That's why
to not be
playing with little boys, booty holes and shit, man.
Yeah, to not be a man. You know what I'm saying? To not think for yourself. And this is what the Bible is, poison. Okay? Because they don't read that shit anyway. If every Bible thumper and every verse recital Christian out there, if they would have seen this verse, like I said, they don't read it. So if they would have seen this verse, I bet if I would have asked that question, they would have said, nah, I don't sin at all. I bet you don't. You gotta go along with the book. That's what you always say. If it's not in the Bible, I don't go by it. Okay, I get it. Okay, I'll press my case. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring everybody back in. Thank you for coming through. You know, we in at 10 o'clock, and we have Kang, Not Your Nigga, KNYN's podcast starting at 11 o'clock. Everyone just go over there at 11 o'clock. It's going to be.
Well, definitely tap in. Also, Focus, YouTube, tap in.
All right, tap in, everyone. Tap in 11 o'clock, and it's going to be great. Any closing remarks, Jay? I know you want to get something out. Go ahead, you got it, baby.
You just censored me like Facebook and Instagram, bro. Some bullshit.
That was a whole Facebook IG moment.
I know, right?
Oh man.
You just censored me.
Oh, I ain't gonna come with the receipts, but as Romans 3:23 says, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. So every Christian knows, hey, how are you? That even though we're saved, we can always sin in some way or form because the flesh is weak. We are humans, we resonate with nature, and we can do things based on our carnal instinct, our carnal being.
Man, cool fool. I hear you.
Any Christian that says they don't sin, those are people you should be.
So I got two things. So if you believe in Jesus and you say you're saved and you sin, are you really saved? That's number one. Number two,
you are.
How? You sinned again.
To be saved means to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.
And he will forgive all sins, right? Right. So if you sin again, after you accept it.
So can I sin every day and just before I go to bed say I'm sorry?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You dig yourself in.
And that's where grace comes in, and that's where repentance come in. So I'm a sinner. I've accepted Christ. I repent for my sins. Oh shoot, I went 3 years without committing certain sins, right? Then I committed it again. Because I've been saved and I have the grace of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I can repent again. Because at the end of the day, everyone falls short, and no human being can really avoid falling into a sinful nature. This is why there's other verses that tells you, there's other verses that literally warn you, be careful of, there's other verses that literally tell you, when you become saved, be careful of the people you're around, because basic human nature will say, you know, you hang with certain people, you might fall into a certain pattern.
That's contradictory.
So you have to follow human nature. This is human nature. Human nature is not contradictory. Birds of a feather flock together. If I'm doing certain, like when I was in the military, everybody's completely different. Why didn't you stay in the military for more than 3 years, Jamond? Because I knew in that world, right, they were living a certain way that conflicted. I knew what I went there for. I got what I had to get. But I knew I was not there to stay, because every day they're making fun of me. You haven't had sex yet? You haven't drunk yet? You haven't smoked yet? Every single day.
So let me ask you this. So you accepted Jesus, right?
Yeah.
So in the life you live now, have you ever, do you think you've sinned in the life you live now?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to sin, regardless of whether you're in, whether the company you keep or in the environment you're in, if you're going to sin regardless, what is the point?
What is the point?
if you're going to
Of
sin
what?
regardless of whether you're with people or by yourself or in a certain environment, if human nature is you're going to sin one way or another, what is the point?
Point of what?
What's the point of the whole religion, accepting Jesus? What's the point of doing all of that? If you know per what you just said, you're going to sin regardless. What is the point?
The whole point was before he came, you sinned. Okay, this is my end statement, right?
After. That's all I'm talking about.
Before he came, God, a spiritual being, had a certain standard and expectation for man to hold, right?
Right.
As a spiritual perfect being, God did not realize that man cannot hold or maintain that standard because man is primarily a fleshly being. It's not that he's not perfect. A spiritual being cannot comprehend fully what a physical being has to go through because they're not feeling the lust of the flesh and all this different stuff.
That's
100% true. And this goes into the whole Anunnaki thing. But if you're going to talk about you created your children, you cannot comprehend all their personal experiences because they are their own individual.
But I can comprehend the experiences as a kid. And
but you cannot feel it.
Hold on, but you're telling me a spirit who created human beings doesn't understand the human being experience. That makes no sense. Why create something you don't understand?
The experience. He understands their nature, but he didn't understand the experience of what they're feeling.
How does that make sense when he's telling you, don't eat from this tree. If you eat from this tree, you're gonna know a whole bunch of stuff and you're gonna die. He knows everything about the human experience because he knows about you're gonna die.
He doesn't know the human experience. He knows what can happen, but we're talking about for example, going vibration and frequencies, right? Let's say God can see what can happen from a vibrational and frequency standpoint. As for what's happening from a carnal standpoint, how we are reacting and resonating with the laws of nature, he can't feel that.
That's incorrect.
He can see what's happening. He can see what's happening.
You're telling me he can't see what something he created. That makes no sense. He grew life into clay, and you're telling me he doesn't understand the human experience. It makes no sense at all. You're telling me he can control life or death at the drop of a hat, and he doesn't understand the human experience. You're making no sense at all. It's like you're distancing the person who created something from the creation itself. Like
a spiritual being cannot understand what a physical being goes through. Physical beings are in accordance or has to be run by the laws of nature. When I drop and I break my foot because of nature, a spiritual being cannot comprehend that pain because they can't drop and break a foot.
Really? So
they can only see, okay, this physical being has been distorted.
So where's your soul? Where's your soul?
Your soul?
Where's your soul?
You are your soul.
Okay, then. So you can't tell me a soul does not understand the human experience if you are your soul. So what I'm telling you is, if a being can create a human body, you have to understand what the human body can do in order to understand it can die.
You understand that
death has no comprehension to you because you're a spiritual being. Death is not in your repertoire until you create something that can die.
Do you understand that the soul is is formed when the spirit and the flesh touch each other? God's a spirit.
You're making up stuff.
God is a spirit.
What is a soul? What is a spirit?
Spirit is a life force that gives life to human beings.
So
when the spirit blends with the flesh, right? That becomes a soul. The soul, we are the soul. We are the consciousness, and we have a physical body that we dwell in.
A soul is a spirit that's in the human body.
A soul is a human being. The spirit that is in the body is a life force.
So you're saying a soul is a human being and a spirit is a life force that's in the soul.
Yes, exactly.
Are you making sense to yourself? Are you listening to what you're saying to yourself? You want to, matter of fact, hey, JP, can somebody look up the definition of spirit and soul? So we can have,
because people like to interchange them. Now, if we go from a Chinese aspect, because they're both invisible, we consider them to be the same. But even the Chinese know the spirit, the essence of the human, that is different than the corporeal soul spirit. And when I say spirit, I'm just saying an invisible thing. The corporeal soul is also invisible, but they're two different categories. They're in two different things. They're not the same. They might be attached to each other because you need the spirit, the soul, and the flesh to create a full human being. But they're not the three different entities that make one entity together. So God is a spirit. God ain't a soul. What we go through as souls, he can't comprehend. He can't comprehend breaking a foot. He knew that if we ate the fruit, we would die. But he knew, but here's a catch, right? Death to Adam and Eve was, okay, I'm going to die like I'm going to drop down and dead. He was talking about a different death, a spiritual death.
Okay, so
even Adam and Eve couldn't even comprehend that.
Let me read the definition of a soul and spirit so we can understand the context of what you're saying, so we don't miss or have semantics. So the soul, definition number one, is the spiritual or immaterial part of a human being or animal regarded as immortal, right? So it's a spiritual part of a human being. So it's a part of a human being. It's not the human being. It's regarded as immortal, right? That's the definition of a soul. Spirit, the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and characters. So it's the non-physical part of the emotion. It's the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of the emotion and character, the soul.
What are you?
That's
so wait. So you said it again. The definition of spirit is what?
The non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotion and character.
And the definition of soul?
That's the definition of spirit.
What's the definition of soul?
The definition of soul is the spirit or immaterial part of a human being or animal. So it's saying the same thing. It's the spiritual or impartial part, and the other one's saying it's a non-physical part. So it's the same thing. Spirit and soul are the same thing.
That's no, it's not.
Bro,
let's go back to ancient. Wait, are you Google? You just Google definition from a Western world. You take it back to ancient people's understanding of it, because that's what I'm saying. New age spiritual people, they be just interchanging the words because they don't understand the different of the context.
So what you're saying, in ancient times, they believe the soul is the human body. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, your body is a physical robot. Your consciousness is your soul. Okay.
So what is your spirit?
The emotions, the feelings, all that stuff. You are a soul. And then the spirit is a life force charge that is basically resides within the heart that gives the body the life force energy.
Bro, you just said the same thing. You just switched it up with putting it in the heart. You just said the exact same thing.
I'm gonna put it a different way. So when you die, based on the scriptures, why are we still alive? Anyways, when you die, based on the scriptures, right? The flesh turns to dust. The body turns to dust.
Right.
Goes back to the laws of nature, right?
Right.
The spirit returns back to God, meaning the spirit, right, goes back upwards to the heavenly realm. The soul descends to Hades or Sheol.
So let me get this straight. You're saying in the Bible, they believe in Hades in the Bible?
Yes.
So I guess hell is not Hades, or hell is Hades.
It's the context to those words as well, but people interchange them.
But that's
when people think of hell, they think about the whole hellfire thing and stuff like that. But after every human being dies, their soul, their consciousness, right, their being goes down to that lower realm.
So let me get this straight. Your spirit goes to heaven. Your soul goes to hell.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense. You only got one soul. One.
You are your soul. You are the soul. That's what I'm saying. Your consciousness, your being goes to down there.
So per what you just said, if you are your soul, you only have one soul, one spirit. That's it. When you die, that's it. You don't go up, down, left, right. You have one soul.
You are not your spirit. I'm saying you are your soul.
Okay, hold on. When you're born, you're born with a soul.
When you're born, you become a living soul.
Okay, you're a soul, a living soul, whatever you want to call it. You're still you still have something, energy within you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the spirit. It's the same thing. It's still an energy within you.
You have to listen to the words. What do Christians say? We're trying to save what?
Your soul.
Souls. We never say we're trying to save spirits.
Because it doesn't sound right. It's bad semantics. It's bad.
No, because
bad
there's an actual context. The soul is the human essence of what resides within the flesh. Me talking to you, you talking to me, we are souls interacting, but we have a physical coating, a physical being that we're encapsulated in.
So where does the spirit come in?
The spirit is the life force that comes from God that charges, is like a battery that puts life into us. That's why when it says God blew the spirit or blew the breath of life into Adam, he became a living soul.
So what I'm saying to you is soul and spirit are the same thing.
Spirit plus flesh creates the
dude, what you're saying is the same thing I'm saying to you. You're trying to make it into two different things. It's the same
two different things. Because how did Adam come to life? God put the clay together, made the physical, right? And then he blew the breath of life, an extraction of his spirit into the clay, and then the spirit with the clay together created the soul, which became Adam and his own consciousness.
You're playing semantics with words. Spirit and soul.
It's not.
You can interchange the words, but they still mean the same thing. You can interchange the word. You're interchanging the word, but they still mean the same thing. You can interchange spirit and soul, and they still mean the same thing.
They don't.
Bro, ask anybody on the street that you're walking on. Ask them what a spirit and a soul is, and they're going to tell you it's the same thing.
They're going to tell you because they don't understand.
Guys, man, we are back. Let me tell you one thing. What's going on? Hold on, Jay. You in the background. Hold on. All right. So we have exceeded our time. We only here for an hour. We're gonna go see my man Big Jeff real quick. We're gonna see what Big Jeff about to do real quick, okay? 1 second.
My name is Big Jeff, and I'm ready to see where's the hot dog.
Yeah, my man Big Jeff, he always hungry, man, always looking for something to eat. Look, man, I appreciate the people coming through today, man. It was a banger today. Hold on. It was a banger today, everyone. Please share this video, like, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Like I said, we about to shift on over to Oso Focus podcast right now. Shouts out to him. All right, it's starting at 11 o'clock. Everyone go over there. It's going to be some hot topics. We're going to have some ladies up there asking some tough questions for them. So come through if y'all can. I appreciate you guys coming through. Like I said, lock me in. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.